Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to episode 152 of Why Did I Buy This? This series started as a way to help crafters find unique ways to use products that they have in their collections. It's also a great series for new crafters who are wondering what they need to get started. My name is Lindsay. I am the team leader of Cloud9 Stampers, and I love to craft. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 20 years, and this is a great way for me to share with you what I'm working on in my studio. So today we're going to be working with an overlooked product. This is often the theme of what we're showcasing on this series. And I think you guys are gonna enjoy some of the tips that I have for you on this. It's a product that came out a year or so ago and I struggled a little bit with it and I kind of like put it away, but I think I figured it out now. So I'm gonna share with you some tips so that you can be successful with yours too. Now, the best compliment you can give is to share this video, so go ahead and hit share. And the other thing I'll let you know is I do have some ordering specials this month. Sharon, happy Pool Party Friday! It is, yes. So if you place an order with me and your order reaches $35, it's not very much, I will be sending you a mini maker kit in the mail at the beginning of November. So the very first week you can expect to see that in the mail. And if your order reaches $100, I will also include a set of embellishments for you. So that mini maker kit is there to inspire your crafting, help you use up some of those products that you've purchased, and be able to have a little bit of fun. Hello, Joy. Yes, please say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that too. The other thing that we have going on this month is a huge sale on our demonstrator starter kit. So the starter kit is a great way to get a really good deal as well as belong to a community and get an ongoing discount. So there's three big things to that. It's one of those win-win situations. I often encourage people to get it if you have any interest in learning to craft at all, because you are going to get that whole experience of a community of crafters who also love to craft. So our demonstrator starter kit, we have like a choose your own adventure this month. So because of our 35th anniversary with Stampin' Up, you either get 35% off your starter kit or you're going to get 35% more. So I think, let me just try and remember the numbers. You guys know numbers and names are not my thing, but I think I've got it. So if you get 35% off, you are going to get $165 of products for about $88 Canadian. I know. And there's no shipping or GST charge, so that means you're getting a huge, huge, huge savings. If you wanted 35% more, you get to pick out it's like $222 worth of stuff, and you only pay $135. Again, no shipping or tax. So you get all of the perks of being a customer. So whenever our customer sales happen, free shipping, celebration, we get all of those things as demonstrators, but you also get at least a 20% discount on all your products. You get to belong to my team, and we have monthly classes, virtual classes, so you can be anywhere in Canada to participate, and it's just a good time. And there's no downside. If you decide that after you buy your starter kit that it's just not for you, it's just not for you. That's fine. You can move on. No harm, no foul. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me. Will put the link in the comments of this video. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can. You have until October 31st at 11:50 p.m. Okay? All right. Hello, friends. Oh, I see so many people tuning in. It's good to see you. Okay. Feel free to write in the comments. It always makes me feel good to know I'm not talking to myself. Well, I do talk to myself, but I'm also going to be talking with you, and you can hit that heart button as much as you like when you see something that you like or that you didn't know or that you're inspired by. So I appreciate you participating. It makes me feel good on a Friday. Oh, I already see hearts. Thank you. Okay, so are you ready for a little overlooked product? You may have tried it in the past and had some frustrations with it. I'm going to help work that through. Hello, Jessica from Dallas. Okay, awkward transition. You guys know I'm not like a techno person. So this is as good as it gets. Ready? Awkward transition. We just moved really quickly. But you're here to craft. You don't care if I know the ins and outs of technology, do you? Hey, come back. Why is this? There we go. All right, are you ready? So This is the product. It is the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. It's in the annual catalog, item number 155480. It's, I think, $9.75. Now, one of the things, I'm not sure if I made that clear, when you pick your starter kit, you can pick anything you want. So if you want to pick masking paper, you go right ahead. If you want to pick a full set of markers, you can do that too. If you want to get a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, yep, that's great. And the only time you can get that Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is now, because it doesn't quite fit into the 165 normally. So just a little tip for you there. Okie dokie. So the masking paper, it's very easy to cut. You can cut it with scissors. You can cut it with your paper cutter. You can punch it out. You can die cut it. You can even tear it. Really simple to cut. Now, where I have been having problems is here in Edmonton, where I live. It's very dry. Like, I'll try not to embarrass myself with dry hands this winter. The hardest part about being a paper crafter is I find it hard to wear lotion and play with paper because it leaves marks on the paper, right? Yeah, so anyway, sidebar. But because it's so dry here, this masking paper I find very sticky. Now, if you live in a place that has high humidity, you might not have this issue. But here I was having the problem where it was sticking to my paper and I wasn't able to smoothly remove it. And then I was fussing with either it tearing my paper or it was leaving residue. So that's why I kind of used it once and went, and kind of tossed it aside. But I'm in a tutorial blog this afternoon at 2:00, so you can check my blog, cloud9stampers.com, and you can work through a whole bunch of people from all over the world. And so this blog hop encouraged me to pull this back out. So here is my solution. So if you live in a dry place and you're struggling too, we're going to pull the backing off, and I'm bringing in, you know what this is? Yes, my embossing buddy. And I'm going to embossing buddy and add a little bit of that powder to my masking paper. I'm going to peel off that backing and we're going to do the same. I'm using my silicone mat just to catch so I don't have the this stuff everywhere. So I'm going to set this aside now and let me bring in a piece of white paper. So I'm going to use my grid paper to line things up. And am I blowing your mind with this, or do you guys already know that technique, that tip? We're going to line up my masking paper with the grid paper to help me keep it straight. And now we're going to do a technique called bordered sentiments. Okay, this was a new one for me. I'd never done this one before. So I'm going to bring in the beautiful balloon stamp set. This is also from the annual catalog. And this beautiful balloons, I'm doing some birthday cards. I'm doing a birthday card for this one. We're going to bring in my lemon lolly, and I'm going to stamp my little balloons here. And I'm going to bring in the smaller one too. So I'm going to do yellow first, and then we're going to switch some colors. So I'm going to stamp right over my masking paper like that. And then same thing, just kind of work it down. We're going to have one up here. I'm going to try and do this fast because there's a few balloons. So we're just stamping right over top of the mask, okay? So now I'm going to bring in my cleaner. Now, one of the things that I learned from my crafters that I was seeing in person is that a few people threw these away because when they dry out, they get super, super hard. But I will give you the tip that all you have to do is throw it in a sink of water and let it sit for a few minutes, and it gets its pliability back. It also helps rinse out any of the ink that might be in there. So don't throw those away. That it's there for you. Okay, now we're going to bring in our lemon lime twist, another beautiful, bold, bright color. And I'm going to also, I shouldn't put this away, I need it again. I'm going to start with my big balloon, and we're going to stamp that over here. And then the little balloon. So over here, we're going to stamp one like this. And we're going to stamp this here. And the nice thing about using colors that are a little bit lighter is you can get that effect of the balloon like crossing over each other because you can kind of see that color in between. Okay, and now we're gonna bring in Coastal Cabana and we'll do the same thing. So the big one, we're going to actually stamp that over top of our yellow like that. And then, make sure I've got my little one clean. Same thing, we're gonna stamp blue. Okay. And then we're gonna fill in the bottom here. Okay. Like that. I think I'm gonna do one more here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the balloon string and a Memento ink pad, and we're gonna add a few strings to the background. So I'm gonna do one here, and we're gonna flip this around so it looks like the strings are different, like that. And we'll do one here. Again, we're using our mask, right? So down here we'll add some. Okay, I'm gonna put this over. Just makes it look like it's coming in different directions. Like that. And then we're going to bring in some confetti. So again, from the stamp set. So this is a fun technique because it's really using mostly stamps and paper. So if you are somebody who doesn't have a ton of supplies and you kind of feel like, oh man, I'm always the person who can't make a card because I don't have a die cutting machine or I don't have this or that. This is one technique that you can easily do. This masking paper is super inexpensive and it really helps you to get this look that I'm about to show you. Okay, so like I said, I used my embossing buddy. So everybody say a little magic prayer for me because we are now going to peel this off and hope it didn't stick anywhere. There, see, so much better. Okay, this is like mind-blowing for me. Now the thing that you can do too is you can reuse it. So you can stick it on your silicone mat and save it for later. Or, you know, it's not very expensive. So if you don't mind cutting more, you can. Now with this technique, I wanted to add a border and I'm using our new markers. So when I talked about the new, getting the markers in the starter kit, if you're somebody who's like, I don't have a lot on my wish list, but this one should be. The new markers have an end that's all, this is all marker. And I find it has a nice fine point, but it also glides really well. We don't have that like ballpoint effect happening anymore. And I also find that the nibs are shorter and they're more stiff. So I haven't had that fraying issue happen anymore. So it's one of the things on my wish list, actually. I want to replace my markers. If I could buy the starter kit, I would. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make like a dot and dash border here. So I'm using my Stampin' Up ruler. This is something from back in the day. How many of you have a ruler from Stampin' Up? We're gonna do a line, and then we're gonna go dot, dot, and then we're gonna do a line, and then we're gonna do a few dots, and then a line, and just kind of keep going. So we get that look. And then I'm gonna flip it around and do the same thing here. So line it up, okay, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We'll do a couple here, like that. So then you get that fun border look. Now, with the border sentiments technique, it looks best if you have greeting that's sort of longer and skinnier so that you can fit it inside that block. So we're gonna ink that up in Memento, and we're just gonna stamp that right in the center. So now we have the sentiment. So let me just skip to the finished project, and here you can see is that card just mounted onto the Coastal Cabana cardstock. Cute, right? Have you guys tried this technique? It's new for me. I mean, in 20 years, I've never tried it, which is weird, right? You'd think after 20 years, you know all of the things, but there's always room to learn. I think that's what I love the most about paper crafting. Okay, oh good. Thanks for the hearts. I love the comments, the hearts. Keep them coming. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to another card. Again, we're doing that bordered sentiment, but what I wanted to show you, well, there's a couple of things I'm going to show you on this card. Let me just get into it instead of talking about it. Okay, so same kind of thing. We're bringing in a piece of basic white cardstock. And we are going to, actually I did it on a smaller piece of paper before. So that's okay. I'm going to just do it to one end. You know what? Why don't I just bring in my paper cutter? I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. We're going to cut it to 4 1/2. There we go. That's better. So we're going to line it up on our grid paper. And thanks, Angela. I'm glad that you love it. Okay, we're going to line it up on the grid paper and we're going to use our embossing buddy. We're going to make sure that this is not going to give us any problems here in dry old Edmonton. Okay. So we're going to layer this now on top like so. Okay. So now I'm bringing in this stamp set. This is from our new mini catalog. Is it new still? I probably don't need to say new anymore. We're bringing in the Berry Cute. So the Berry Cute collection has a really great punch that goes with it. The punch looks like this. If you buy it together, you get a 10% discount. So talking about the starter kit again, you can actually put bundles in the starter kit. So not only are you getting a discount on the products just because the starter kit pricing is so good, but you also can put discounted products into the starter kit. All right. So we're going to use Garden Green. And I'm going to stamp some trees. And we're going to go kind of side by side. Like that. And then we're going to bring in the outline one. We're just going to go over top. Like that. Okay. Guess what, Sharon? Pool party! Yes, Pool Party Friday coming to you on the Instagram Facebook Live. Okay, we're going to add some Pool Party snowflakes in the background because, yeah, we love the pool party. And then we're going to bring in some blending brushes. So I've got my Garden Green here. And I think it looks really nice when you blend over this border technique. So I'm going to use my small blending brush here. And I'm just going to go over the bottom, kind of fill it in, just like that. And then over here, we're going to kind of follow the trees. So we're going to go up and over the trees, over our border, just like that. I went a little heavy there. That's okay. Like that. Oh, Judy, the day they retire Pool Party. Oof, I might have to retire. I don't know. That would be pretty sad for me. I don't know what my obsession with that color is. So with my dogs too, I always pick a color that's like their color. So Remy's color is Pool Party, which is also Tiffany blue, interestingly enough. Yeah, and then London is pink, but hers is more like a melon mambo. If you guys remember that color, we still have it, I think. So all I'm doing now is so here's the old one. Do you see what I mean about the ballpoint nib? It's not really ballpoint, but that's what it makes me think of. I'm just adding controlled splatter to the background because I kind of want the trees to be green and the sky to be Pool Party, if that makes sense. I'm glad I have Pool Party fans watching. Probably the people who hate Pool Party are like, I will never watch her videos. Who could hate Pool Party though? No. That's not allowed. Okay. So I've just added a little bit of like controlled splatter. Now we're going to bring in our big blending brush just because it coordinates with my Pool Party. And we're going to go over the sky and we're going to add a little bit of blue in the background. So I'm going to get ready to show you another thing that I hope will blow your mind because it kind of, when I thought of it, I was like, yeah, why did we not think of this? We meaning me. You might have thought of it. Okay, ready? Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to pull off our little border there. So nice. And this time we're going to use our ruler and our marker, and we're going to add our border just a straight black line. We're not going to add any dashes. So we're going to go straight across like that, and straight across here too. Like that. Okay, so we're going to add a Warm Wishes with the Very Cute stamp set. How many of you are fans of that set? It's cute, hey? And then we're going to bring in our polar bear. So let me set this aside for a minute. So the polar bear, we want to add with our punch, but I'm going to bring in a special kind of paper. Okay, are you ready for this? So this paper is glow-in-the-dark 6x6 specialty paper. This paper was so popular that it sold out within milliseconds of the catalog going live. And of course it has a Halloween focus in the catalog. That's part of the suite. But now that it's back in stock, I thought, okay, so what can my friends do with this paper that they either bought or they wanted to buy and they couldn't for Halloween? Let me show you. So we're going to bring in our Stays On ink. It's important to use Stays On ink on this paper because, do you feel how rough it is? So this rough paper needs to have an ink that's going to stick. And Stays On is our solvent-based ink, and it's going to stamp on everything. So you want to ensure that you're holding on to this little cap because that helps to keep the ink pad from drying out. I've had this one for probably 10 years. But what I will say is that it's really important when you buy them, or if you haven't collected one recently, you need to get a refill. Every time I use my Stays On, I need to refill it. So, like once a day. I've already used it today, so I've refilled it today. But to refill it, all you do is remove the cap, you squeeze and add some ink to it, and that's going to give it that luscious ink quality again. Now, some of you are starting to panic because you're seeing me pull out a photopolymer stamp to use with my Stays On ink. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a bit of a rule breaker. So it's not recommended to use your photopolymer with Stays On, but here's how you're going to get around that. So we're going to ink up our little polar bear and we're going to stamp it onto our glow-in-the-dark paper. Look how beautiful that looks. And then we're going to bring in our Stays On all-purpose cleaner and we're going to give it a little dousing of it. You don't have a lot of waiting time with this. So just, we're going to take a sidebar break to clean our polar bear. So I've already taught a class with this. And we all did this to this, and the stamp is doing just fine. You just don't want that Stays On to stay on there because it will make it sticky and hard to stamp with. So that's my little note to you. Okay, so here's our glow-in-the-dark paper. And I'm going to put my lid back on my Stays On. We're going to set this aside. And I should have brought a wipe over. Anyway, I'm going to try not to touch my paper with my Stays On cleaner hands. Now what we're going to do is do a little bit of coloring. So you cannot use blends with the Stays On. The solvent and the alcohol do not play nice. That's why we use Memento with it. So instead I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Right markers. And I'm not going to color the whole thing blue. I just wanted to add a little bit of blue. It kind of takes it from being a 2D image to a 3D image, if you know what I'm saying. So I think Pool Party, when you color it on something that's supposed to be white, it helps it look just a little bit more three-dimensional. So we're going to go like that. And then here. Like that. And then just along the leg of our polar bear too. Now, because I am not coloring over stays on, I can use a blend to do my cheek color. And you guys know I love the SU1000 for the cheek, adding cheeks to my animals. So I like that it's subtle. It just adds a little bit of a rosy quality to it, right? Like that. So now we're gonna bring in our bear punch. And we're gonna punch out our glow-in-the-dark paper. Just like that. So now we're gonna add that to our image, and let me just skip ahead and show you the finished project. So these two glow in the dark. I am going to be in a blog hop this afternoon. It'll be live at 2:00 p.m. Mountain Time, and I have a picture of what it looks like when it glows. It is so cool. So don't be limited to the suggestions in the catalog. You can use glow-in-the-dark paper for anything, and it's really fun. It kind of gives that effect of like northern lights or a full moon or something like that. Like, oh yeah, glow-in-the-dark for a moon. That would be cool, right? So yeah, glow-in-the-dark paper. You could also add that to your starter kit. Okay, let's move on to the final project. This is a PYP card. And part of the reason it's PYP is we are using a stamp set that is unreleased. It will not be released until January. So you're saying to yourself, Lindsay, why are you showing me this? Okay, here's the best perk of the Demonstrator Starter Kit. When you purchase it in October, you are getting a free registration to our virtual onstage conference on November 11th, and there is a replay available. So as a new demonstrator, you will get to participate in all of the different really inspiring product-based classes. And one of the perks of being registered for Onstage is you get to pre-purchase a stamp set that won't be available until January. So you get to buy this bundle. It comes as a stamp set and as a punch. So you get that together with the 10% discount. So again, as a customer, you don't get this until January, but as a new demonstrator who's registered for Onstage, because that's part of the perk of joining, you're going to get this too. So like I said, it's a win-win-win right now. There is no reason why you shouldn't buy the starter kit. If you love to stamp, now is the time. Okay, so here we've got our masking paper again, and I'm going to pull off my one side and add my embossing buddy, and the other side. Okay, like that. So next, we're gonna do it on an angle this time. What? I know. So I like to line it up just because it's nice to see exactly where it's gonna go. And we're gonna layer it on like that. And now I have so many fun stamps to share with you here. So I'm bringing in two colors. I'm bringing in Flirty Flamingo and Sweet Sorbet. I know we're working ahead on Valentine's Day, but this card is too cute to not share. So we're going to stamp over top of the masked part. And you'll notice I'm kind of stamping slow because I want to ensure that it's getting as close to the border as I can. So again, we're going to go over top here and one this way. And now we're going to bring in my Sweet Sorbet. And the Sweet Sorbet is one of our in colors that carried over. So this time I'm bringing in a smaller heart. This one's gonna go here and here. Kind of keep going all the way along. One there. Just like that. Okay, and we have one more heart to add. So this time I'm going to use my Memento ink, and we're going to bring in the these little trio of hearts. So these can go here. One here. Cute. Okay. So again, I find it looks best if you really kind of fill in this space. So I'm going to bring in my, I think I did it with Flirty Flamingo. Did I? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so I'm going to do Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to go over top of where that border is. Love it. Blending is so much fun. I find it relaxing. So again, we're using our masking to hold our, it's like a placeholder on the card. Once you start playing with this bordered sentiment technique, you're not going to want to stop. That's what happened to me. I actually have another card that I'm posting on the blog. All right, and then we're going to do a little bit of that controlled splatter. So not only is this nice because you can direct where the dots are, but you also protect your nibs so that you don't accidentally, you know, like break it because you're pressing too hard on the cap. Now, if you feel like you're a pro, feel free to do that. I still do, but this is just kind of nice because it keeps it in one place. So now we're going to pull off our masking tape and we get that look. So here you can see is a little bit of adhesive. I don't know if you can tell that's stuck there. So what I'm going to do is bring in an adhesive eraser and I'm just going to pull that off just so I have a clean workspace. There we go. Okay. So now we have this really cute little dotted, like this is where the bee is flying kind of thing. So we're going to stamp that there. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of white, basic white. Let's set this aside for a minute and we're going to stamp our bee. So I always have to check and see how this punches out. Okay, so we're wanting it to go here. And there's a little solid thought bubble. We're going to use our lemon lolly to do that. Actually, I must have gone a little bit too. Got to be touching the stinger. There we go. Like that. And then we're going to punch this out with our little bee punch. What I love about this punch is it comes with the hearts too. So you never can have too many hearts, and hearts are a fun embellishment to add to a project. So there we've got our little bumblebee. Super, super cute. And then the bumblebee has a face. There's like multiple faces that you can dress up your bumblebee with. So we're going to give this one a little happy face. And of course, our bumblebee needs cheeks. So we're going to add that with our SU1000. Subtle, but we don't need it to be dark. And then this is going to be added to the project, just like this. And so our bordered sentiments, my sentiment is actually not going in here. I'm going to put the sentiment somewhere else. But let me show you the finished project and I'll show you a couple more details on this card. So here, ready for the PYP? Here we've got our little bee. So on the printed vellum, I embossed the leaves, or the wings, and I just wanted to show you something really quickly here. So here's the wings. I'm just going to stamp it really quickly in the memento, just for the sake of demonstration here. So we're going to stamp this here. And look at, are you ready for this? Oh my gosh. When I figured this out, I was like, what? So the bee wings punch out with the heart punch. I know. Okay, there's got to be hearts for that. That is a brilliant idea. Whoever thought of that, thank you for that. There's fun, punny sayings in this. So, be mine. You'll always be the one for me. You make my heart buzz. You're sweet as honey. Now, the reason why this one stands out to me, so my husband's name is Bruce, and I've always called him B, and I've always spelt it B. So this is definitely going to be his Valentine card. He doesn't watch my videos, so it's fine. He doesn't know. So one of the things that I will show you on there too, this was something that we did in my class this week, and it kind of, I was I was excited by how they were excited about it, so I wanted to show you too. So I'm going to bring back in my silicone mat, and I am bringing in my Wink of Stella. So you guys know about Wink of Stella, right? It's in the annual catalog. And the Wink of Stella is a platinum shimmer pen. So you don't need glue or anything. It's really, really subtle and fun. But we're going to just squeeze a little bit of that shimmer onto our mat. Now, the nice thing is, if you don't use it all in the technique I'm about to show you, it doesn't dry. So you can like come back to it later. So if you're like me and never clean up, it'll just be there waiting. So we're going to pick up some of that, and we're going to take our shimmer pen and we're going to just splatter it onto our project. So then what happens is you get this amazing shimmery splatter. So I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but in real life, it is like stunning. So if I bring you back to the original card, you can see it there. So pretty, right? So let me show you the 3 projects one more time. So we have our cute little bee. Again, this is a pre-order item for new demonstrators who are registered for Onstage. You have, look at, I added the splatter to the background on this one too. This one here is one from our mini catalog. And then this one's from our annual catalog. So if you're thinking to yourself, Lindsay, why don't I have these products? Head to my online store and shop away. And again, if you have any kind of wish list right now, the Demonstrator Starter Kit is going to be your best option. It is definitely a low pressure situation. There is no wrong way to go about it. Any reason you buy it is the right reason, and you're going to get a lot of extra stuff right now. So you have until Tuesday night at 11:50 to take advantage of that special offer. And I'm happy to answer questions about it. Okay, friends, have an amazing weekend. I hope you're getting to eat lots of chocolate this weekend because you've already done your shopping for Halloween. Let me just say there's a bowl. It's on my counter. I'm trying to resist, but you know what? You only live once. Let's just do it. Okay, friends, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing this video. I appreciate all of your comments. And as always, it's a pleasure to craft with you. Bye for now.